What if I told you that you could look absolutely jacked, thick, lean, and powerful without ever touching steroids? Collision, most guys think you need drugs to build that superhero physique, but that's completely wrong. In this video, I'm breaking down the natural blueprint, the science-backed formula I've used and tested to build muscle naturally and look enhanced year-round. No shortcuts, no fake promises, just pure strategy, intensity, and results. If you're ready to conquer your limits and dominate the gym naturally, this is where your transformation begins. Let's build greatness the natural way, the truth about looking enhanced, naturally expose the myths, why most people underestimate what's possible naturally. Explain muscle illusion, lighting, muscle insertions, leanness, and proportions. Use Jeff-style science breakdowns, natural testosterone limits, muscle fullness, and glycogen effects. You've probably heard people say, it's impossible to look that jacked naturally. But the truth is, most people have no idea what a well-trained, natural physique can actually look like. The problem isn't genetics or bad luck, it's misinformation. Too many lifters compare themselves to enhanced physiques online without understanding the difference between what's real and what's chemically inflated. Looking enhanced naturally isn't about chasing the biggest arms or the heaviest lifts. It's about creating the illusion of size and density through science-backed training and conditioning. When you get lean enough, build muscle in the right areas, and understand proportion, you can look way more muscular than your actual body weight suggests. A well-developed V-taper, dense shoulders, thick upper chest, and tight waist instantly amplify your overall presence. Lighting, glycogen fullness, and even posing play a role. These small visual cues, when combined with smart training and nutrition, can make you look 10-15 pounds heavier than the scale says. The goal isn't to look like someone on steroids, it's to maximize what your natural potential allows. And that starts with accepting reality, mastering the fundamentals, and pushing them to their limit. Because once you understand how muscle illusion works, you stop chasing unrealistic physiques and start sculpting your own. You'll begin to see how lighting, leanness, and proportion create that enhanced look naturally without crossing any lines. The blueprint, training with purpose, not ego, discuss progressive overload, compound lifts, and mechanical tension. Contrast natural vs enhanced training styles, how naturals need smarter volume and recovery. Show clips or infographics explaining optimal set/reps and training frequency. Now that we've cleared up what's actually possible naturally, it's time to talk about the foundation that makes it happen, training with purpose. Most guys hit the gym thinking more is always better, more sets, more weight, more burnout. But when you're natural, that mindset doesn't build muscle, it destroys progress. You can't out-train your recovery. Every rep, every set, every movement needs to be intentional. The goal isn't to move weight from point A to B, it's to create mechanical tension, the single biggest driver of hypertrophy for natural athletes. Progressive overload isn't just about adding plates every week. It's about adding quality, more control, better contractions, longer time under tension. When you're training naturally, you can't rely on enhanced recovery or elevated protein synthesis. Your results depend on precision. That means tracking your lifts, balancing volume and intensity, and giving your body enough time to adapt. Think of each session like data collection. You're constantly learning what movements stimulate the most growth, what volume your body can handle, and when it's time to back off. One of the biggest differences between natural and enhanced lifters is sustainability. Enhanced lifters can go all out every session and bounce back quickly. Naturals can't. So your approach needs to be smarter, not just harder. Focus on compound lifts, squats, presses, pulls, and layer in accessory work to fill the gaps. Build strength first, then refine your physique with precision. When you train with purpose, every rep counts. Every workout moves you forward instead of burning you out. Nutrition that builds a jacked, look-talk calories, macros, and nutrient timing. Highlight how natural lifters must master protein intake, carb cycling, and lean bulking. Bust myths about supplements and magic foods. Training is only half the equation. If your nutrition isn't locked in, you'll never actually look jacked, no matter how hard you train. Most people think eating more automatically means more muscle, but that's not how it works when you're natural. Your body doesn't have the hormonal advantage that enhanced lifters do, so you need precision with your food just like you do with your training. It's about fueling growth, not feeding laziness. Start with calories you need to eat in a small surplus, not a bulk that turns into a fat gain spree. The goal is to build lean tissue while keeping your body fat low enough to maintain that sharp, dense look. Protein is the anchor here. Aim for at least a gram per pound of body weight spread evenly throughout the day. Then comes carbs, your primary fuel source for performance. Don't fear them, use them strategically. Higher carbs on training days, moderate on rest days. That's how you stay full, energized, and anabolic. Fat is your hormonal support system. Too low, and your testosterone tanks. Too high, and you slow digestion and energy. Find the balance, usually around 20–30% of total calories, and stay consistent. Supplements, they're fine, but they'll never replace real food. Creatine, whey protein, vitamin D, maybe omega-3s, that's it. Everything else is marketing. Your physique is built in the gym, but it's revealed in the kitchen. If you can master consistency with your nutrition, tracking, adjusting, and staying disciplined, you'll start to see the separation between lifting and truly building. This secret weapon, recovery and hormone optimization, dive into sleep, stress control, and natural testosterone boosters. Explain why recovery is the multiplier for muscle growth. Share actionable recovery protocols, mobility, stretching, rest days, deep sleep tips. You can train with perfect form and eat with precision, but if your recovery is trash, you're leaving serious gains on the table. Most lifters treat recovery like an afterthought, as if muscle growth happens in the gym. It doesn't. You stimulate growth in the gym, but you build muscle when you rest. Your body needs time and resources to repair the tiny micro-tears you create during training. That's literally how muscle growth works. So if you're constantly undersleeping, overtraining, or stressing out, you're cutting your results in half before they even start. Sleep is your #1 recovery tool. Aim for 7 to 9 hours and make it quality sleep, dark room, cool temperature, no screens before bed. That's when your body releases growth hormone, repairs tissue, and restores testosterone. Then there's stress. Cortisol, your main stress hormone, can directly interfere with muscle recovery and even reduce your ability to stay lean. Things like meditation, walking, or simply unplugging for an hour can make a massive difference. And don't underestimate active recovery, mobility work, stretching, foam rolling, and even low-intensity cardio. These aren't just extras. They improve blood flow, reduce stiffness, and help you stay injury-free so you can actually train consistently. Hydration, nutrition, and rest all feed into the same system. Recovery isn't one thing. It's everything working together. When you start treating recovery with the same respect as training, that's when you'll unlock your next level. Because building a jacked, natural physique isn't just about how hard you push. It's about how well you bounce back. Train hard, recover harder, and your body will reward you with strength, size, and the kind of progress most people only dream about. The natural aesthetic formula discuss proportions, wide shoulders, tight waist, full chest, thick arms. Talk about illusion of size, how posture, posing, and conditioning create a jacked visual. Use scientific visuals like muscle shape ratios and symmetry principles. At this point, you've built a solid foundation, training smart, eating right, and recovering like a pro. But now it's time to talk about something that separates an average lifter from someone who looks jacked: aesthetics. The truth is, looking big isn't just about adding more muscle. It's about how that muscle is distributed. You can have a decent amount of size, but if your proportions are off, you'll never get that enhanced look naturally. Aesthetics come down to balance, the illusion of width, symmetry, and density. When you develop broad shoulders, a full chest, thick arms, and a tight waist, your physique instantly looks more powerful. That's why the classic V-taper is so important. It creates the visual of being much larger than your actual weight. So, focus on your delts and lats. They frame your upper body. Keep your waist lean, and don't let your midsection overpower your proportions. Every rep should serve a purpose toward building that silhouette. Even the small details matter. How you pose, how you stand, your posture, all of it plays into how your physique is perceived. Lighting, hydration, and muscle fullness can completely change how jacked you appear. This is where science meets art. You're sculpting your body, not just building it. The goal isn't perfection, it's presence. The kind of presence that turns heads when you walk into a room fully clothed. When you master proportion, you master illusion, and that's what separates a fit physique from a truly jacked one. Build strategically, stay lean, and chase balance, not just bulk. The mindset: conquer, naturally inspire with discipline over dopamine, how naturals win long term. Don't compare, compete with yourself, Jeff's motivational tone. End with, if you apply this blueprint with consistency, you won't just look jacked, you'll become the best version of yourself, naturally. Everything we've covered so far, the training, the nutrition, the recovery, the aesthetics, it all comes down to one final piece: mindset. This is where most people either make it or break it, because building a jacked physique naturally takes time, patience, and an unshakable belief in the process. There's no shortcut here, no magic supplement, no secret hack. It's about showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, and doing the work anyway. The natural path forces you to develop discipline. You can't rely on external help, you rely on consistency. The gym stops being a quick fix and becomes a test of who you are. Every rep is a vote for the person you're becoming. And the truth is, your mindset is the one variable that controls everything else. If you treat this journey like a sprint, you'll burn out. But if you treat it like a long game, you'll evolve physically and mentally. You'll have days when progress feels slow, when the mirror doesn't change, when motivation fades. That's normal. That's where most people quit. But that's also where naturals separate themselves: by pushing through, by trusting that every small effort compounds into something bigger. Because every disciplined day, every focused session, and every smart decision builds momentum. This journey isn't just about looking jacked, it's about who you become in the process. The patience, the resilience, the self-control, that's the real reward. The muscle is just the proof. So keep showing up, stay locked in, and remember, you don't need shortcuts when you're built by consistency. Looking jacked without steroids isn't about luck. It's about strategy, discipline, and consistency. You don't need shortcuts or fake enhancements to build a physique that turns heads. You just need to master the fundamentals, stay patient, and let time do its work. Every rep, every meal, every night of recovery compounds into the body you've always wanted. This is your blueprint, built by science, refined by effort, and powered by dedication. So stop chasing shortcuts, start building something real, because when you earn your physique naturally, every ounce of muscle tells a story, your story.